up to the hotel. The bathroom. Pretty basic. Here, a coffee maker. Little living room. And that's the hotel room. Alright, about to go exploring in St. Augustine. Haven't been here since I was younger. This is my outfit of the day. Doc Marten boots, Ross pants, and totally forget where this is from because my friend just got it for me. So we're about to go exploring. This is the makeup look I have on today. Very simple, wearing glasses. So we're gonna get going and we'll show you everything that happens. Going through the old time jail. I've been here since I was a little child. It's only a Sunday, so it's pretty much a slower day here.
53.
1953?
Yeah. I was like, that was...
It's a pretty old jail cell.
Went to that party last night. Mr. Flagler, who owns that hotel. Henry Flagler, I know you all heard his name before, right? Probably heard so much you're sick of it. Henry Flagler owns the hotel. His piano got busted up. A couple of his chandeliers got pulled off the wall, and a lot of his windows got busted out. That's why you're going to jail, folks. Damage done to the hotel. Now, I gotta tell you, Henry Flagler built that place 20 years ago in 1888, which makes this year 1908. Now, I'm just telling you all these things because I heard some of y'all are still messed up from last night so much you don't even know these things. But now you do. So now that we're all caught up, let me tell you a little bit else about that hotel. See, when he built it, he built his hotel right next to the old jail that was right downtown, and he didn't even realize what he was doing. Well, he's the second richest man in the country, some people even say the world. So he gave us $10,000 of his own money to rebuild the jail right out here on the outside of town. He said not just outside of town, a mile outside of town. This is a mile from the city gates. Now, when we did that, we did such a good job of rebuilding this place. People think it's a hotel. They come here all the time, knocking on the front door, trying to book a room here. We got so tired of it, we started playing around with them a little bit, teasing them. They knock on the front door, say, hey, y'all got any vacancies? We said, absolutely we do. Come on in, happy to have you. As soon as that door closes behind him, here's what we say. Oh, by the way, we'll have long-term accommodations here. Those people run out of here lickety-split. But folks, unfortunately for you, you don't have that option. See, y'all been put under arrest for the damage you did to the hotel last night. You have to go inside, and your entrance is in the back. So, that's where we're heading. Now, I will tell you this, because I know y'all see that front door. Y'all can't get through that door. It's only for respectable folks, and after what you did last night, you're not respectable anymore, trust me, okay? Because I don't want anybody asking me what you did last night. Nobody told me who did what, but my job is processing you in the jail, not telling you what you did. All right, guys, now, let's go. This is Charles Joseph Perry, our sheriff. 6'6", 350 pounds. Now, folks, I gotta tell you, this is a scale model statue. His feet, his hands, his head, everything you see right here, it's literally how big the man truly is, okay? Now, he is the most feared but respected lawman in the South. Any weapon you put in this man's hand, he is an expert with it. Now, I have one piece of advice for everybody here. Do not make this man angry, okay? Stay on his good side, because if you don't, you're going to end up in the next place we're going around the corner. What I'm going to do is talk about these windows right here, okay? Now, these windows, okay, they probably look like the windows you have in your own house. They have glass in them and they have nice pretty curtains. Well, I know I have the same thing in my house, but unfortunately for y'all, you're coming in here as prisoners. Your windows are right up there. Looky there. They only have iron bars and nothing else. That's what you call an open air jail. In other words, if it's raining outside, y'all gonna get wet, all right? Now, if it's 95 degrees out here, it's 105 in there. And any animal that can fly, climb or crawl, or slither and slide, it will be in your jail cell. Now folks, the best way to look at that is, you're always gonna have a friend, right? And you will never be lonely. Now, folks, we're gonna make one more stop before we go inside. We're gonna swing on down here where the prisoners hang out. After that, I'll take you to your new rooms. All right, let's go. We're gonna swing down here where the prisoners hang out. All right, now that's 2 jokes in one, guys, come on. All right, now, I do a couple little jokes on the way down here on purpose, because this is where this place gets kind of serious, okay? The St. Johns County Jail is a hanging jail. We've had 8 documented hangings up to this point right now. Most recently, just this year, on February 28th of this year, a man named Charlie Powell was hung on these gallows right here behind me for killing this man who's going around town telling stories about his wife. Well, you cannot kill somebody in the state of Florida in 1908. That is a hanging offense. It could be a man, it could be a woman, does not matter. You will be hung if you kill somebody. Charlie made the big mistake of killing the man right in a saloon full of people. That's how mad he was when he did it. So his trial only lasted 1 day. Once he was found guilty at trial, he had 30 extra days to live, and all 30 days, folks, were spent right there in that cell at the bottom of the steps. Now, that room right there we call death row, and here's why. See, all 30 days, like I said, he spent in there, but every day when he woke up, he knew he had one less day to live, right? The other thing is, this is the only view he had out of his window every single day. The gallows where he'd be hanging on that last day for the crime he committed. Now see, what we're going to do right now, because that's enough talk about hanging, okay? Let's change the subject, lighten things up just a little bit, okay? We're going to go inside this jail. But in order to serious crimes, they have to stay in these rooms. And they go to work in the kitchen every day, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. But there's good news for these ladies, all right? The good news is there's only 2 women on this side and 2 on this side. So, as you can see, even though they're prisoners, they're still ladies. When we treat ladies right and proper down here, we take care of them, make them as comfortable as possible. To make them as comfortable as possible, the best thing we could think of was give them a bed all to themselves. Hey, I gotta tell you, ladies, men do not get the same kind of treatment. Men always have to sleep with at least one other person, sometimes more than that. But in y'all's case, you get your bed to yourself. So I just want you to remember that, because we got one more thing we're going to talk about, okay? These buckets. Now, you ladies look smart. You know what the buckets are about. I don't have to explain it to you, okay? But the ladies who get this side over here, you get that great big window. You get most of the light coming in from outside. As you can see, it's very dark over here, but you still have plenty of light on this side. But there's one thing you need to know. You get a little extra responsibility. You see, when your bucket gets filled up, you have to pick it up and throw it out the window to empty it out. Now, I know that doesn't sound like it's a very pleasurable thing, but it is your responsibility. But I like you ladies. I'll give you an extra tip, okay? Now see, here's what you're going to do. Before you actually empty out your bucket, all right, you're going to take your arm, stick it through those bars of your window as far as you can, turn your hand back and forth. What you're doing is You're testing to see which way the wind's blowing. Ladies, you got to do that, because if you don't, okay, if you just pick up your bucket, throw it up against those bars, throw everything out, if the wind's blowing from that direction, that is where the ocean is. The ocean's only a quarter of a mile away and the winds are very strong. So if you just pick up that bucket and throw it out without testing first, and the wind is blowing from the ocean, what you threw out, ladies, it's going to fly right back. And in this jail, if that happens, in here we call that backsplash. Now the ladies on this side, they don't have a window, so they don't have to empty out their own bucket. One of these prisoners walking around, these trustees we have, they'll come in here and empty out your bucket for you, ladies, while you're working in the kitchen. And when you come back from working, your bucket's already cleaned out and ready to go, so you never have to touch it. But you have to be in the dark all the time. So as you can see, there's good things and bad things about both these rooms. So if you ever come in here, which I doubt any of you ladies come in here, you look real nice. But if you do for some reason, you know how these rooms work, and you can choose the one you want. Now the next sub block we're going into is called Why It's So Dark. But folks, the worst thing of all, no bucket. Now, we will close this door right here. When we do, that man can't see his hand in front of his face, it's so dark. Now, you're in a room where you can't see anything, okay? You have no bucket. So, let me say this as gently as I can, since we have some little ears in here, okay? The longer you stay in there, okay, the better chance you're going to step in something or lay down in something you shouldn't step or lay down in, and you're going to come knocking on that door, okay, begging us to let you out. And you're going to be promising everything you can to get out of there. You're going to say, hey, deputies, I promise, I'll do what you say when you say it, okay? I'll have a good attitude. I'll treat people good. Just get me out of this room. We say, okay. On your promise, we're going to do those things. But remember, on your promise means you promise the deputy sheriff something. And you don't go back on your word on the deputy sheriff, or you're going right back in that room. And if you go back in that room, you'll get out when we let you out.
With what we call bedbugs. So even though you might not have had bugs coming from outside of the window, you still had bugs in your bed.
But I want to ask a specific question about breakfast, okay? Now, how many of y'all like grits? Raise your hands. Okay. That's almost half of you, okay? That's good, that's good. Now, you see, that's usually the way it works out. A lot of people like them, a lot of people don't. But I don't want anybody to get discouraged, okay? We actually have two things on the menu. Now, if you like grits, that's great, okay? You're taken care of. But if you don't like grits, that's all right too, because maybe the other thing will suit you better. Let's find out. Now, it's either going to be grits for you in the morning, but if you don't like grits, the other thing for you would be no grits.
I like them.
That's a man with a good attitude. All right, now, you see, gentlemen especially, just like he just said, eat the grits, okay? It's very important, because I'm going to tell you here in just a second, the rest of the things you get during the day to eat, and it's not a lot of food. So make sure you eat your grits so you have at least out on your stomach when you leave in the mornings, okay? And you'll be leaving about 5 o'clock. Right after you eat your grits, you'll be going outside to work in different places all around St. Johns County. And the ladies will be staying here in this room doing all their morning chores, all right? But in order to get the food to the men next door, maximum security where we just went, you got to put it through that little hole right there. That hole is called the bean hole. Now ladies, it's simple. It's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All you got to do, take plates of food, stick it through that hole right there. There'll be about 4 or 5 deputies on the other side. All you got to do is give us the food, and we take care of feeding the prisoners. So after we're done, we say, all right, go back to your chores. That means all the men got fed. Now, after you're done doing that, go to your morning chores, okay? But about noontime, take this, that pot, cook up a bunch of beans, feed them to the men. And after you're done feeding the men, you ladies also, get yourself a nice big ladle of beans. Ladies, y'all like beans?
Usually that was
Good, good. Y'all catch on quick. That is the only thing on the menu. All right, good. I mean, some smart ladies. I like that. All right, now gentlemen, I encouraged you to eat your grits. I hope you did, because every 2 hours, we're going to take a break. Now, we've been out in the fields for 2 hours working, all right? Here's what you're going to get, hardtack. Now, hardtack is salt, flour, and water, and that's all there is to it. Now, these ladies, they mix this thing up for you in the morning, okay? They mix it up, put it in the oven, bake it until they can't bake it anymore. Looks like this when it comes out. They cut it up in squares like this. You all take out as many squares as you possibly can. Once you get it, it comes out of the oven like this, but it sounds like this. Look at there. Not a crumb came off, okay? Now that's how hard this thing is. Now gentlemen, you know it's actually easier to eat this than you might think, because when we take that break, we're going to say, get that hardtack out of your pocket, put it in your coffee cup, and then the deputies will come around with a boiling hot cup of coffee, boiling hot. Now the reason it's boiling hot is because the hotter the liquid is that goes on top of hardtack, the faster it gets soft. So what you're going to do is, you're going to get that coffee on top of your hardtack. It's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to settle down enough that you can actually start drinking it. But after you do start drinking it, what you're going to do is drink up all the coffee, take this out. It's like a little cookie or cracker. Okay, eat this up. And guys, by then, okay, break time's over, okay? You got to go back to work, but then 2 hours later, do the same thing. But if you think about that, we're talking about 1 cup of coffee, 1 piece of hardtack every 2 hours. Hit this on the side twice, and it echoes all the way to the top. And just like next door, once the food gets to the deputies, they take care of passing it out. Now what's going to happen is, after the deputies get the food, they give it to about 70 or 80 men upstairs. When you pass out the food over there, it could be anywhere from 30 to 40 men, and then you ladies also. Think about that. We're talking about 100 to 130 prisoners in the same building at the same time, eating beans. So y'all gonna be real happy this is an open air jail. Trust me on that one, okay? Now, Mr. Flagler in 1891, when this building was finished up, he had put in gas lighting. Guys, gas lighting in 1891 was unheard of. Nobody had gas lighting in St. Augustine, except for Henry Flagler, of course. We had it in this room, the parlor next door, and both bedrooms upstairs, which you will get to see here in a few minutes. Most people have these lanterns like this, these oil lamps. That's how they lit their houses at nighttime. The thing is, guys, I'll tell you what, having gas lighting was a huge deal. But then we found out that's not the only thing we had. Excuse me. That's better. Okay, now that's not the only thing we had. We had this typewriter right here. Now this is an Oliver number 9 typewriter. Now Mr. Flagler, when he got this for us, he knew at our other jail we did all of our paperwork by hand. So we weren't really surprised we had a typewriter. We were very surprised we had an Oliver number 9 typewriter. I mean, you have to expect when the man who's the second richest man in the country buys you something, he's going to get the best thing he can find. This was the best of the best in 1891 and the most expensive. Mr. Flagler paid $300 for this typewriter in 1891. So folks, we were very happy. You know, our work gets done a lot faster here in this office. We spend a lot more time outside doing deputy work than we used to, instead of spending so much time doing paperwork. So thank you, Mr. Flagler, for the typewriter. Now this right here, folks, I gotta tell you, this is my favorite thing in this office. This is our fingerprint kit. Now, when we first got this fingerprinting kit, it was one of only 3 in the whole entire country at the time. Had this one here, one in New York City and one in Washington, D.C. And it was huge at the time, huge. But, see, the thing is, that was 17 years ago, and this is now 1908. Now, it's very common to go to a sheriff's department or a police department and find a fingerprint kit in the building somewhere. But there's one thing I can say. I can smile real big about it and say it with pride. We're the only sheriff's department or police department anywhere in the state of Florida to have a fingerprint kit. In a minute, I'm going to let y'all walk around. Now right here, the Poly Jail Company out of St. Louis, Missouri, they are the ones who designed and built this place. They did such a good job designing and building this place. Matter of fact, no prisoner ever escaped out of the St. Johns County Jail. Now the Poly Jail Company, when they built this place, these floors are 4 feet thick of concrete. The walls, 2 feet thick with iron bar reinforcement. That's why they're #1 in prison confinement in the United States. They're actually getting bigger and bigger. Matter of fact, they don't just build jails anymore. They do, but they also build prisons. They've actually acquired themselves a new piece of property out on the West Coast, this little island called Alcatraz. Now see, they're going to start building this place in about 2 or 3 years from now. And when they do, they're so happy the way this jail turned out, so solid and secure, no escapes. They plan on taking several things out of this design of this jail and use it as a model when they build Alcatraz. Now, does anybody have any questions?
He's like, his arm is like cut off. Who is he staring at? It's so cool.
This is a place that we picked in St. Augustine to eat. The place is so inviting on the outside. Like, it's so cute. Little Italian salad to start off with for dinner/lunch. This is what we got. We got a meatball sub, a Philly cheesesteak. We had the Italian salad and the garlic bread, which is demolished already. So we're gonna dig in and eat.